Hi students, so let's continue with the chapter direct and inverse variation. And in the last video, we had spoken about the direct relationship where if one quantity is increasing, the other is also increasing. And if the one quantity is decreasing, the other quantity is also decreasing. And we had done some sums, so you can go back and refer. What is an inverse variation? Inverse is actually an opposite of direct, that if one quantity is increasing, the other quantity is decreasing. And if the first quantity is decreasing, then the other quantity is increasing. That's an inverse relationship. So let's understand with one example. And the example could be that I'm assuming two variables, men and number of days. This is the easiest example to understand, that if there are 5 men and they can finish off a work in 10 days, and let's say there are 10 men, that how many days they will take? Will they take more days or less days? So the common sense says that if there are more number of men, it will take less number of days, and I'm assuming they are taking 5 days, for example. Now, whether this is an inverse variation or not, the simple formula is that if this is x and this is y, then x1 into y1 should be equal to x2 into y2. What I mean to say is that if this is x1 and this is y1, this is x2 and this is y2, then multiplication of x1 and y1 should be the same as multiplication of x2 and y2. If they are same, then it is a inverse variation. So in this question, let me see 5 into 10. This is equal to 10 into 5. Both are 50. So this relationship is an inverse variation. Now, if I ask you that had the men been 50, how many days it will take for the same work to get completed? I'm sure with this formula, you can tell me the number of days required is only 1. Because now if I multiply x3 and y3, then 50 into 1 is again 50. And so this is our inverse variation. This is how simple it is. So let's take an example that if 36 men can do a piece of work in 7 days. So let me quickly make a grid, and this is how you have to do the sums, that you have to make a grid and make some vertical lines. Yeah. Now, 36 men can do. So one variable is men, another is number of days. 36 men can do work in 7 days. How many men? So I have to find this variable. I'm assuming it is A. You can assume as X, whatever. How many men will do the same work in 42 days? We have to find this. So as we just understood, the multiplication of the two variables, men and days, on the left-hand side will give me 36 into 7, and on the right-hand side will give me A into 42. Now, this is a very, very simple linear equation. We can find out A, which is nothing but 36 into 7 upon 42, which is 6. And what is 6? 6 are the number of men who can finish off the work in 42 days. I hope it was a simple. Let's take the second one. And for that, I'll first make a grid. This is an important thing to get a clarity. All right. So this is the grid. Now let's understand what are the two different variables. A car takes 6 hours to reach a destination by traveling at the speed of 50 km/h. How long will it take when the car travels at the speed of 75 km/h? So now if you read the question, it says there are two variables, time and distance. So I'll just write here time. And the second one is speed, not distance, but speed. So it takes, a car takes 6 hours, okay, to reach a destination by traveling at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour, okay. How long will it take? So how long means I'll assume a variable A when the car travels at the speed of 75 kilometers per hour. Now, the common sense says that the speed, the time taken will be less. If 6 hours it takes to reach by the speed of 50 kilometers, then it will take lesser time, when the speed goes up. So when it is an inverse relationship, I know that I have to multiply x1 and y1. So 6 into 50 is equal to A into 75. As simple as this. Question is over. Answer, A is equal to 6 into 50 upon 75. Right? So this is 3. This is 2. This is 12 upon 3, which is 4. What is 4? 4 hours is the time taken if the car travels at the speed of 75 kilometers per hour. This is how we do the sum. What you have to remember is the relationship of the two variables x, y, the product remains the same. x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2 in case of the inverse variation. I hope you liked it. See you in the next one.